What's up everyone, we are back reviewing some of our FIBO tape from last season. Me and Nick Alfieri gave our predictions for the 2025 ELF season. Is now concluded, so I can use it to get some more content. Thank you guys for bearing with me during my voice. I was at the UFO event, if you don't know. A lot of stress on the voice, so we're getting back to it. Also, members going to get this today. Non-members will get this tomorrow. If you want to be a member, look on the channel page. Don't have to if you don't want to. Without further ado, let's talk about the Nordic Storm.
Give me some of the main acquisitions for the squad this year.
Jadrian Clark. Makes sense. Our MVP of the league a couple seasons ago. The best quarterback season we've ever seen in the ELF. He is a rocket of an arm. He's poised in the pocket. He's a great leader. He's everything you want from your American quarterback. This one definitely aged well, especially with his playoff performance. Playing that last game on one leg was incredible, like the toughness he displayed. And he was rewarded this year. He was nominated for MVP. He was an all-star selection once again. And he really carried this team through those dark periods with how many injuries they had. And he looked incredible as always. So you got Ludwig Myron there at the top of your screen. Outside linebacker from Sweden. Very versatile, can play across the whole of the linebacker core. Can even move into nickel. You know, he is a undersized linebacker if you just look at the measurables, but that versatility makes him an absolute weapon. Ludwig was unfortunate. He was one of those guys that suffered with injuries throughout the year. He didn't have like a bad year, but he wasn't an all-star selection kind of player that we expected. But again, you know, injuries happen. And Chad Walrand, who I also highlighted, he had a good season this year. Also struggled a little bit with injuries towards the back end, but overall did have a solid year that was pretty comparable to his all-star year. So he didn't take a step down, didn't really take a step up, kind of stayed the same. Ludwig, unfortunate with injuries. And then Joaquin Christian was an all-star, so that all those highlighted players end up having solid or good seasons. You got some college football experience as well at the tackle positions, and then you got Victor Newman, another young Swedish offensive lineman I think is really coming through. Their offensive line wasn't great, like it definitely wasn't terrible. I expected it to be nearer to the top end of the Surge and the Vikings, kind of what we expect from those two teams, Munich Ravens as well. It wasn't in that echelon, I'm going to be honest, especially at the tackle positions. A little bit lackluster, kind of a mediocre offensive line. I expected a little bit more, but some good pieces, but as an overall unit, it was okay. It's not elite.
There's a lot of different ways that this team can win. Can you elaborate on that? What's that mean? What are the different ways that this team can be successful on offense?
Just weapons, man. You look at this team from start to finish. You got Jadrian, who is an MVP. You got Glenn Tonga, who's an MVP. You've got someone who I've been waiting a long time for, is wide receiver Edvin Tabora. He's been playing in the Swedish league for a couple seasons. He plays in the slot, but he can play all over. He's longer, more lengthy, he's athletic, probably the most athletic receiver they have in their homegrown core. Jacob Green, he's got a year in American experience. Theo Landstrom, he's an ELF veteran. We saw him with Barcelona Dragons a couple seasons back. That's just a receiver core, just a little bit of their running back core. You have Andrea Botello Moreno, the best tight end we've ever had in ELF history. You've got Jonathan Steinhauer, a former Baylor tight end. You've got Oliver Tribier, the third tight end on their depth chart, is also an ELF veteran. It doesn't really get much more stacked than that.
Holy shit.
Man, the longer that one went on, the more painful it was, because I didn't mention Simon Fons, and I don't know why. I've done evaluations on Simon Fons previous to this, like years ago when he was at Potsdam, but for some reason I didn't mention him here. He was our leading receiver as well. Like, he was incredible all season in blocking, as a deep threat. I don't know why I didn't mention Simon Fons. That looks really bad in retrospective. I didn't mention their best receiver, but all the others were fine. Then Lindstrom got hurt again. Kind of tell of this one is how many injuries they had. Adria was amazing, best tight end season for him, and most touchdowns in a single season for a tight end. Tabora was good. Jacob Green was fine, but yeah, no Simon Fons. I don't know why I didn't mention him, to be honest. That was a big miss.
Are the expectations too high? Are the expectations unrealistic for this franchise? Also because they have Coach Shub. A lot of people are expecting, okay, they better be a competitor right away.
Absolutely. I think they will be. I think they are expected to be elite level. I think they have the elite players in place to do that. I think this expectations are accurate. You know, it could be the best team to ever be in their first season, the ELF. I stand by that. I do think it was the best debut season by a new franchise in the ELF.
All right, let's start this off. I'm going to go, all right, first game, Helvetic Mercenaries. That's a W,
Yeah, fair.
right?
Fair.
Panthers, W. I'm giving them a W. Berlin, W. Sorry, Berlin. I don't know. I'm not feeling good about Berlin this year.
We'll get to them.
Then they've got to bye, and then the Frankfurt Galaxy. Hear me out. They're going to lose this game, okay? They're going to start off strong. They're going to start to feel a little maybe complacent. Be like, okay, you know, we're a brand new team, and this is going to be kind of their slip-up game. This is going to be their check game. And I think the Frankfurt Galaxy got them on that. Okay, take out the rest of the schedule for me.
I think we've got the Panthers next. I think that's probably a W.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you come in. Helvetic again. I think they sweep Helvetic. I think they take that one as well. And then you look at Hamburg. It's a tough one. I think they get another W. I think they right the ship. They're completely fine. Right, fine. Now this is the one everyone wants to talk about. This is a homecoming game. You ready, Nick? I think they get the win.
Outstanding.
I think they get the win against the Fire. That's going to be a big one.
Bold.
Berlin, again, I'm thinking that's going to be another win. Galaxy, I think they avenge their early loss. They go 1-1 with the Galaxy. So look at that record already. Then Hamburg again, tough one. I think this will be another close game, but I think they come out on top. The final game with Ryan, I think they get complacent. You know, they're sitting at 10-1. They've already beat them, and I think they take another L, and I think it could affect playoff seedings, but I think they take the L.
Interesting. So we have got the Nordic Storm at 10-2 for their inaugural season. That's a pretty impressive opening season, but they've got pretty impressive guys, man. I think this is completely realistic.
I think me and Nick deserve so much fucking credit for this prediction. We effectively got it right, like the whole way through. If you just swap our Galaxy games, we got it perfect. That's crazy. We even said they get a little bit complacent, and you can argue that's exactly what happened in that second game against the Galaxy. We couldn't have predicted Jameson Wang. But yeah, like we got it spot on. We got both the Ryan Fire games right. We got all the other ones. They had a pretty easy schedule in comparison to other teams. But like, we were spot on. It was that one Galaxy game. You flipped that around, we were perfect. So me and Nick deserve a lot of credit. That's why we are the experts. People always saying, oh, there's no experts. We are this 99% right. Just swing one wheel. Perfect. Give Jay and Glenn the time to run and move. Keep that pocket clean. They cannot work. Jay is a mobile guy inside the pocket. They can allow a little bit of space. Glenn, another physical guy. They need to give them space. Put that one in to basically talk about the injuries. Glenn got injured out for the season. Jadrian got hurt in the playoffs. I mentioned that Chad got hurt. Theo got hurt. Weapon X got hurt. Like, tons of players got hurt for the team. On the offensive line, they had injuries too. And also, like, I only had a limited time to talk about players in this event. Like, FIBA was amazing. I wish I could have done these discussions for hours, but only got about 10 minutes. So I couldn't talk about Parky or anything and his rise, or I couldn't talk about some of their other studs. But yeah, it was a solid overall prediction.
That's what we got. Nordic Storm for the first ever year, and there is our franchise check on the Storm.
Overall, I'm very pleased with how many they did. We got the record spot on, just the Galaxy thing wrong. The injuries are unfortunate. I think I expect the offensive line to be a little bit better than it was. Injuries you can't predict, so I'm not gonna like hold any of the players or even the prediction accountable for that. But yeah, I think we did really, really well for the Nordic Storm. We had a good gauge on where they would be. We knew they were going to be a contender. I didn't have them as like a championship team, and they weren't a champion. They didn't win a championship. You could argue all day if they had all those pieces that got hurt during the year, they would have been. It's a discussion for another video maybe, but yeah, they had a great season. It was a very, very good first year for them, and they did very, very well. From coaches to players to ownership, they did a fantastic job. And that will be the Nordic Storm video. Let me know who you do next. I'm thinking maybe the Galaxy. I'll just throw that one out there. Members get it today. If you're not a member, if you want to be, check on the channel. Don't have to, do want to. Thank you everyone who supports the channel. Thank you everyone who tunes in every day. Thank you everyone who supports my Instagram. If you need me, reach out in the comment section. Like, do all that. Helps me out a bunch. See you next time. Thank you and goodbye.